Hey, welcome everyone. Dr. Mandell here. I hope you are having a beautiful day or night, regardless of where you are worldwide. This is going to be a fun program. Before we do anything, let me go ahead and because this is a live stream and it will be played back again for those people listening it later, um, let me go ahead and first paste the platform. If you'd like to come on the platform and discuss a remedy that you may have about your stomach, acid reflux, heartburn, GERD, or any type of intestinal issue, feel free to respond to that address. It will take you to the platform. I will let you come on and talk live with me. But we're going to be talking about heartburn, GERD, gastroesophageal reflux, heartburn, acid reflux. People call it all different words and names, but it means the same. If you're getting burning in the stomach, if you're getting regurgitation, if it's affecting your throat, you got burning in your chest, you're having those crazy symptoms, it's not fun. I've had it, I've been there, and I would call myself a fairly good expert on this because I had to learn a lot of these things the hard way, which I'm going to share a lot of the great things with you. So again, I will post the address. This is the platform. If you'd like to come on the platform with me and discuss a remedy that you've been doing only pertaining to heartburn and acid reflux. That's all we're going to talk about today, okay? The chat room is open. We're going to be getting a lot more people coming through, and I will be repeating this a few times. But let's go into the first thing about acid reflux, because I'm going to share a lot of great remedies. I'm going to show you some nutrients. I'm going to go over some different teas with you. I'm going to tell you some tips. I'm going to tell you a lot of great things. This is something you want to share with your friends, your loved ones, your family who has acid reflux or heartburn, particularly those who are on taking acid blockers or proton pump inhibitors. I'm going to really help you a lot. This is going to be a great program for you guys, and hopefully this is something that will really help you in the future because I'll go into some other things later. I don't want to talk too much. Let me go right into it. Let's head for this little picture right here, okay? If you look to the left there, you see GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disease, and you see a normal area. That's the stomach. That's the acid making its way up in the esophagus. There is a called the LES. That LES right there on top where it says normal is our lower esophageal sphincter. If you look right below it, it's called a weak lower esophageal sphincter. If you notice, when the weak lower esophageal sphincter opens up, that's because that muscle is weak, and therefore the acid can go upwards. So when that acid goes upwards, that's when we start feeling regurgitation and acid that goes up into our chest. Now, you or many people may not have symptoms right away. You may have like lots of phlegm in your throat. You may have even conditions as high up into your sinus. You may notice that you lose your voice often. Or you may notice you cough a lot, like you can't figure out why. That's silent reflux. That is silent reflux. And it's so common that many doctors out there are misdiagnosing it because you're not having symptoms. Let's go back to this picture again. Now, if you look to the right there, we want to get away from the acid-forming foods. Our meats, particularly burgers, hot dogs, you can see a lot of our preserves, our meats, our candy cookies, all our whites, our sugars, our flours, alcohol, particularly carbonated drinks, white bread. Again, noodles are whites. We're dealing with flour. Now, if you look at the middle, you see here the alkaline, neutral, and acidic pH. What we want to do is we want to try to eat foods in the alkaline environment. 7+, not 7-, okay? And generally, we're looking at our greens. I'll go back in a second. I'll show you. But the whites are acidic. Proteins are acidic. Of course, we have to eat it, but we want to offset it with more greens. Lots of fruit that have the fiber is great. Anything pretty much that's growing from a natural state, a fruit or a vegetable, is going to be a lot better off than something that is enriched or refined. So we want to get away from those enriched and refined foods. We need to get away from it. Let's go back. Now, if you look to the right here, You'll notice that most of your greens, your kales, this is just a brief chart. Your celeries, your greens, your cauliflower, vegetables, your beets, even your colored fruits, parenthocyanidins, your anthocyanidins, all your color veggies are all good. If you look down, your avocados are excellent. It's got lots of fiber. Your lemons and limes, your almonds and grapefruit. Okay, now I know where you're going with this. Lemons are acidic. Well, wait a second. When you mix lemon and water, it becomes more alkaline. And I'm gonna go one step further. We did a video on apple cider vinegar, and in many, many cases, more cases than not, apple cider vinegar will help acid reflux. I'll explain in just a little while. I'll come back to that. Now, there's another thing on there called the grapefruit. Now, we know that grapefruits are very acidic, but this is what happens. When your body takes in a grapefruit, it tells the body to secrete less acid. It counteracts it. The studies are from, I believe it was Harvard, but there are some studies out there that shows, it's actually on Healthline as well, that when you eat grapefruit, it actually helps acid reflux. Now, I never knew that until I was researching and doing my readings. I'm saying acid reflux with grapefruit? No. Lemon? Yeah, I always knew about lemon. Apple cider vinegar? Yes. Let me explain why. Okay. Most acid reflux, if you go back up here, look at the upper left again, you see that valve, the LES, and the upper, the lower where it says GERD, that GERD, where the acid is going through, that weak LES, that lower esophageal sphincter right here, okay? It's going right up here. But what happens is this. When we lack acid inside the stomach, the lower esophageal sphincter, the muscle becomes more slack. When we have acid in our stomach, it becomes tighter. These are studies. So what happens is when people have acid, the first thing that their doctor will do is put them on an acid blocker or a proton pump inhibitor. We have the Pepcid, we have the Nexium, we have the Prevacid, the Prilosec, all these different ones I can mention. It doesn't matter about the names, but either one's an acid blocker or a proton pump inhibitor. And so it's blocking acid. So when your body doesn't have acid, that sphincter gets more slack. And what we found is that when we bring apple cider vinegar or other acidic foods, but are healthy acidic foods, that sphincter starts to close up. Now, if you probably have come across, I got a whole bunch of goodies here to share for you. This is called betaine hydrochloride, HCl. This is a digestive support, and this is given to those who have acid reflux, as long as there's no ulcer, which most of the time there will not be. But what this does is puts acid back in the stomach and it helps your digestive problems. I want you to research and Google acid reflux and low stomach acid. I'm not going to spend too much time. You can look at my other video on that. I did that just a few weeks ago. Well, let me just say, look back because this could be a year later. But if you Google acid reflux and low stomach acid, you're going to see a lot of research. So by taking the betaine HCl, this has helped tons and tons of people. If you speak to a good nutritionist, they'll tell you to start taking this in lower doses and gradually building up. If it's too much too quick, you'll cut back. But this is really known to help it. Now, why does the apple cider vinegar help it? Because you're putting acid back in there. It's about 3 pH. But I always would tell you to dilute it and start out with a little bit. So I don't want to spend too much time on that. So let's go to this chart. Reflux disease, GERD. These are some good foods to eat. You can look at this over on your own. I'm not going to spend much time here. And pertaining to certain drinks and teas, there's apple cider vinegar right there. And then you have the kefir. Most of your good probiotic stuff, most of your fermented foods are very, very good for your stomach. I recommend everyone eat fermented foods. Ginger is great, coconut water, chamomile, papaya leaf. And if you look down below, there's a digestive enzymes, magnesium, as well as probiotics and certain fibers. I don't know what that is, but ignore that. So let me just show you a couple things. Enzymes, if you're having acid reflux, get on a good enzyme, just a basic enzyme, proteolytic enzymes to digest those proteins and to digest your food. Remember, you need to stay away from fatty foods. I'll go over that in just a second. Another great thing is deglycerinated, DGL, deglycerinated licorice, that coats the whole entire esophagus, that coats the stomach. It's really good for the stomach. This is deglycerinated because it will not raise your blood pressure. And this, you chew it, they're capsules like this. I love them. They're delicious. Something you want to check into. Another thing that I want to mention while I'm here is slippery elm. Slippery elm is very good for the throat. It coats the throat, particularly if you have like burning in your throat. Slippery elm is a great thing. And these slippery elms, by the way, are wafers that you can chew as well. They have them where you can swallow them as pills. I recommend everyone get on a good probiotic. Probiotics is the key because the probiotics will do wonders for your gastrointestinal system, will do wonders for your entire immune system. And magnesium, believe it or not. Magnesium is alkaline, like calcium, which I'll go into in a second. But magnesium, it actually helps relax the smooth muscle. And by relaxing smooth muscle, relaxing muscles throughout your body and keeping your stress levels down, actually diminishing cortisol, can do a lot of great things for you as well. Ginger capsules, I prefer the ginger tea if you could. Ginger capsules are still good if you're taking it with food. I like the ginger tea, and I actually like the lemon balm. Lemon balm is a great natural type of thing for nerves. It relaxes you. It's good for the digestive system. It's actually good for IBS and other conditions as well. Remember that when you have any kind of digestive issue, everything seems to go to its weakest link. Okay, so I just want to bring up a little bit of information for you, and I'm going to go to the next thing. Now, again, I'm going to go ahead and put the link up here. If any of you want to come up on stage with me, I'll put you up. Click on that link. If you want to share a remedy that you've been using for your acid reflux or for your stomach, I welcome you because you've got a lot of chatters in here. It's going to be played to a lot of, hundreds of thousands of people in the future. And if there's anything you want to share, go to that link I just posted, click on it, and come right up, and we'll put you up on screen, and you can talk, by the way, just like I can. So let's go back to the other last one here. Greg will be right with you. We have someone up here. We'll be right with you. These are some ways to prevent heartburn. Obviously, you want to quit smoking if you're a smoker and limit your alcohol, which we know. We want to avoid those foods that trigger trigger certain things. You want to wait, obviously, an hour after eating to exercise, maybe a little longer for some people. Managing stress, we know, is a big one. Wearing loose clothing, as well as managing your weight. If you're wearing tight, fitting jeans, and you're got more of a tummy on you. Remember, people who have more visceral fat, more fat around the belly, are going to have more heartburn. You're going to have more pressure pushing back in the stomach. When you have pressure on the stomach, it's going to push the acid back up. Let's head first with a good buddy here. Greg, how are you, Greg?
Hi, how are you?
Nice to see you. What would you like to share? Can you share something really positive with our listeners out there?
So yeah, this has been a problem for me. I commented too in the comments. I feel like stress triggers acid reflux.
Yes, it will.
And I had some protonics and then some other medications prescribed out, but I researched and I found out. Go ahead. Sorry.
The protonics, just so people understand, is a proton pump inhibitor. It just stops the acid, is what it does. Okay. Now, one thing I want to say on that, Greg, I'm sure we've talked about this before, is that when you block acid, that means you no longer are fully digesting proteins. Okay, and then those undigested proteins.
Blocking calcium going into your.
That's correct. He's one step ahead of me. He's smart. What happens is that in order for your bones to receive calcium to stay strong and prevent osteoporosis, you need acid. Okay. And I won't go into the other little things with minerals because there are some other micro minerals where it'll affect the assimilation of that as well. But go ahead, Greg.
Another, this is when I researched this, I realized in my experience in life, I realized a lot of people that got older, they broke a leg or an arm, or mostly leg, and they ended up in the hospital, and from anesthesia or whatever, it caused some issues into their, some other issues. So that's one thing why I guess calcium deficiency will cause that bone.
Absolutely. And remember, calcium not only for our bones, for our muscles, our muscle twitching. It affects our nervous system. It affects our heart. It affects, all these different organs. So when people are deficient, they could be having many other symptoms that people won't even pick up just as a result of blocking acid.
So one thing I want to mention is I've tried this. I don't know if you agree, that might be one of the things that helps me, is black seed oil.
Yes, I was going to bring it up. I just couldn't carry enough. I have so much with me. Black seed oil, it will help it because black seed oil is a natural anti-inflammatory, and it's actually great for your immune system. It's black seed oil has really, I've taken it before and has helped me. Yeah, black seed oil is good. Another thing I will share while you're there right now, okay? And I mentioned it before. It is raw. It's organic, cold pressed pine nut oil. Yes, it's magic, and that's known to heal ulcers.
I recently, after you said last time, I recently got some.
Yeah.
And I've tried a couple of times. I'm still gonna try the effect to see if the effect is gonna work. But
first thing in the morning, empty stomach.
And couple of other things is, I feel like stress, your nervous system, and your acid reflux, they can be all connected. Is that correlation?
Yes, that's correct.
So
that's correct.
Last time we talked about how it says if you use coffee or garlic or onions, those can be stimulating the nervous system, right?
Yeah, correct. Not raw. Now, especially raw onions. So that's a very good point. Sauteed, like olive oil, not too much oil, because too much fat, too much oil is hard to digest in the stomach. And so that can sometimes aggravate acid, particularly if it's bad fats, those bad fats. But the healthy fats like the avocados, the olive oils, even nuts, certain nuts can aggravate it. But it's a fine line there. But again, you don't want to pick out nuts either. A handful of nuts. I mean, it's just eating. It's just eating healthy foods. Carbonated beverages is a big one you want to get rid of. That seems to really cause a problem. And a few things while you're there. Sleeping, making sure you're on an incline if you have, and sleeping on your left side. Because when you're on your left side, the acid will drain out and down. But when you're on your right side, it can regurgitate back up again. So being on your left side is extremely important, or on that incline.
Or another sleeping thing is when you don't get enough sleep or you don't sleep well,
100%.
Then you're gonna have that stress,
increased cortisol.
Yeah. Then it's gonna trigger that stress, that nervous system, and that acid reflux. So
that's correct. We got quite a few people want to run up on there with us.
One last thing I want to mention is I realized also is when you eat too much, then you get that problem.
Smaller meals.
And when you don't eat and stay hungry for a long time, that triggers that acid reflux as well. So
you're right on. I can't say it better. Thank you. Thank you for helping me out.
So much.
You make my job really easy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Love you, man. Great seeing you again. Great man. When you say the word to me.
We love you too.
All
Thank
right,
you.
take care, man. All right, be well. What a great guy. All right, we're going to head over for, let's see, we're going to head over to Maria. And we
Yes,
got
hi.
James here. Hello, Maria. How are you?
Hello, Maria. Hello.
Hi, doctor.
Hi,
You got to
doctor.
turn the volume
You
down
gotta
for us.
turn the volume down for us.
Yeah, you got to turn that volume.
You gotta turn that volume.
Okay, go ahead and come back on,
Go
Maria.
ahead and come back on, Maria, if you can.
James, I think it's you,
James.
James. We're going to let you go. Sorry about that. Banu, how are you, my friend?
Hello. Hi.
How are you? Nice to see you. Where you from?
India.
Nice to have you here, my friend.
Uh,
What
I
can you
have
share?
lots of negativity in my mind.
What's that?
Negativity. Lots of negativity in my mind.
Okay, this program is strictly with acid reflux. Do you have anything to say about acid reflux?
Yes. How can I use apple cider vinegar for that?
Okay, what about the apple cider vinegar? How you're asking?
Yes. How should I use that?
1 tablespoon. I would start out in a teaspoon to 1 glass of water. Gradually build up to
Yeah.
a tablespoon.
Okay. Will that hurt in IBS?
Excuse me?
IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. Any
Yes,
issues with that?
it can help IBS. Yes, it can. Yes, it can.
Okay, sir. Okay,
All
sir.
right.
Thank
God
you,
bless.
sir.
God bless. Take care. Okay. Adnan, how are you, my friend? Where are you from?
Hi, I'm from UK. I'm a big fan of you, by the way, Doctor.
UK, huh?
You
Wow, we
really
love
helped
you
me a
out
lot, by
here.
the way. It's
Awesome.
surreal
Thank
that
you
I'm in
so
a call
much.
with you. So I had this question. I'm only 20 years old, so I was feeling lots of heartburn, indigestion. I tried so many different, natural supplements and all, and I did not feel better. I was wondering why. Then later on, I went to the doctor. The doctor told me that I have this H. pylori. H.
H.
pylori.
pylori. Yeah. Okay.
So I got that one. So now I have a couple of questions. I was asking how can I eradicate it naturally, since the PPI and the antibiotics kind of cause more further damage. So I
Yeah.
was
Well,
asking.
generally they're going to treat H. pylori. For those who don't know what it is, it's a bacteria, and it stays in your stomach, and that's what's known to cause ulcers. All right. That's the research today.
Yeah.
There are a few things, but I don't want to direct you and diagnose you or recommend, because legally I'm not allowed to do that. But I will tell you one thing. If you Google, okay, Siberian pine nut oil, they have studies. Studies are all there that kills H. pylori and will heal your stomach.
So what do you call it? Sorry.
I will type it on for you right here.
For sure, please.
Okay, that's Siberian pine nut oil. It's organic. Google it and check it out.
And how do you use it? Like, how do you use it?
You would just take a tablespoon in the morning.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
and actually, if it was me, I would probably use it a couple times a day. If it was me.
Also, can you use gluten? Can we eat gluten when you have H. pylori, or do you have to?
Yeah, you could. Yeah, yeah.
So what
you
food
know,
do you have?
if you have a little gluten, I don't think one's really have much to do with the other. What you want to be careful with is sugars.
Sugars.
Remember, any type of virus, bacteria, these guys just like to eat crap. And if we put crap in our body, we're just feeding it, like candida, albicans. People get yeast infections. The best way to really treat any condition, any disease in the body, one way.
Yeah.
Don't let the pathogen have the access to eat it. So if we don't put it in our body, they can't eat it. That's the most important thing. So if we keep inflammation down, which is sugar, we're gonna be way ahead of the game. It's hard to treat disease when we're causing disease.
Definitely.
All right. Hey, God bless you.
May God bless you too. I was asking too. It would be so amazing if you have made a video about this, because so many people have it and they don't know it. That's a crazy thing.
Yeah, well, this video right here will be played back on my channel. I'm posting this, so you can come back and look at this later.
For sure. Thank you very much. Yeah, Doctor.
All right.
God bless you, Doctor.
You too, my friend.
All right.
Beautiful. From UK, England. Let's see. We have Mike here. Hello, Mike.
Hey, everyone.
Can you speak up a little louder? See if we can hear you.
All right. So I'm taking a medication for my acid reflux still, and I was wondering, I have to show you it. Sorry, I'll have to grab it for a sec.
That's okay. That's okay. You don't have to show it to me. You just tell me.
Yeah, so it's medication for my acid reflux. It's called pantoprazole, SOD, recommended from my doctor, and I want to know if it's useful for my acid reflux, or what you think generally specifically
Well,
speaking in terms of medications, in terms of treating acid reflux, or if it's if there's a natural way to treat this
yeah, well,
symptom.
the 100% natural ways, okay? But I cannot tell you to stop taking it, and I won't tell you to take it because obviously he's your physician. He recommended it. I would go back to speak to him. What I would do is I have another great. I have some really good videos on acid reflux. You can in the search bar you can put acid reflux motivational doc and see some of them, as well as re-listen to this one because there's going to be a lot of information that we're sharing here that I think will be a great asset for you. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So is there a natural way to cure acid reflux without any medication?
Absolutely.
Or
The best way to cure it
what do
is
you
through
recommend?
proper nutrition. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Remember, drugs don't heal you. Drugs are going to treat the condition, but a lot of the things that we're doing, like eating the white sugars, the heavy fats, the wrong foods. One of the most important things I recommend for you to do is Google the best foods, the healthiest foods for acid reflux, the healthiest foods for GERD, the healthiest foods for ulcers. And these same foods will come up together. And these foods that they recommend start eating, and the foods that they say to avoid, stop eating. Because if you're eating the wrong foods and doing the wrong things, you're going to continue to let that thing linger on. I've had it. I know what it's like. I've been through the drugs. And the way to heal yourself is you gotta understand that the doctors don't teach you. They just want to give you. They want, hey, take this, do this, but they need to teach you because that doctor never told you how to eat correctly. All right? All right, so hang in there. You'll do fine.
Okay, thank you.
All right, stay well. Okay, Barbara. Hello, Barbara. Barbara, you hear us? Hello there, Barbara. Yes. Do you want to go and share a
Yes,
remedy?
I can hear you, Dr. Mandell. Thank you.
Anything you'd like to mention about your
Hello
acid reflux?
there.
Yes, we hear you. Hello there, we hear you.
Hello. Okay.
We hear you.
Yeah. Okay. Dr. Mandell, I have stage 4. I have stage 4 cancer. I'm on a chemotherapy.
What kind of cancer?
Yes, and I have breast cancer.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. I'm on my 12 chemotherapy. So I'm actually almost finished with the chemo. On my 11th chemo, I started to have an acid reflux, and my hand started. Well, it all started with a tingling on my fingers, and now I can't almost close it. I can almost close it. I have a very I have a very what do you call this? I have a pain in my back and on the muscles here on my lower upper upper abdomen. So the inflammation is my ESR is elevated. It's 40.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I started. I can't go to the hospital because uh, we have a surge of COVID right now.
I understand.
So I'm
Let
still.
me just tell you real simple in a nutshell. Number one, the doctor who's evaluating you and doctors who's treating you knows your history the best. So of course
Yes.
there are things that I love to tell you to do, but by me telling you, I may be missing something. So from that perspective,
Yeah.
what I will tell you though, okay, going back to food, all right, there's a few things that you can do. All right. You may want to, this is something I think is important, is to get off all your sugars. Get off all your sugars. Don't feed it. Don't feed the cancer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't have simple sugar. No simple sugar, no dairy products. I'm on a
Good,
plant-based diet.
good. Good.
Um,
It's okay.
I'm on a plant-based diet, but
Uh,
I had I started.
yeah,
Okay,
you're
I started with um apple cider vinegar
good. Good.
because I thought that I should heal my gut first
Correct.
so I can.
Correct. Correct.
But my doctor told me last um chemo that doc I told him I told her that I've been using apple cider vinegar and I'm using the powder, the baking soda,
Yeah. No, you don't.
just to heal my gut. But
Yeah.
she's not. I mean, she's not amenable about it. I mean,
Yeah. 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 I'm gonna
she said
have to
that
go.
it doesn't have any.
Okay, you got to make sure you get. I'm gonna have to let you go because the connection is bad. You need to make sure you get on probiotics. Very, very important. Probiotics. Okay, a couple of things I want to go over with you pertaining to acid reflux. All right. Now, a couple important things. They talk about eggs. I know a lot of people ask questions about eggs. Can eggs trigger it? Yes, some eggs can in certain people. They say to stay away from too much fat. That means the yolk. They say egg whites are actually better when it comes down to eating that. They also say the research about peanut butter, believe it or not, which I never knew, that peanut butter is a good option for people with acid reflux, but you want to choose a natural peanut butter. One that does not have artificial preserves in it. One is actually smooth and not crunchy. Okay, there's some interesting things that I came across I just want to share with you. The other question is about nighttime. Why is acid reflux usually worse at night? Because the concentration of acid in the stomach is higher at night. Second, the lying position, particularly if you're lying flat, the acid is going to reflux and come up through the esophagus, through the lower esophageal sphincter, because gravity is going to bring it back up. So you want to make sure that you're on an incline or you're on your left side. And the last thing is that when we sleep, we don't swallow. And swallowing is a big thing because I'm going to recommend that everyone start drinking lots of water. Start to take what you have and neutralize the acid by diluting it. Another great thing you could do is start chewing gum. Why? Because we're swallowing saliva. As we swallow saliva, okay, that saliva helps, believe it or not, the acid in our stomach. So there's a lot of little tricks that you can do. And let me just see. I want you to avoid raw vegetables, particularly onions, your carbonated drinks. You got to lose weight. I recommend everyone to get off the sugars, the whites. You need to go on a low-carb diet. That will help you. I'm telling you right now, you start cutting those sugars out, your acid reflux is going to get better. A lot of greens, a lot of alkaline foods. You got to get rid of those carbonated foods. You need to get rid of those whites, the flours, those pastas. All those are very, very acidic. Once you start substituting them with those alkaline foods, your natural fruits, your vegetables, things that grow from the ground in the whole state that hasn't been enriched, hasn't been refined, hasn't been stripped, you're going to do much better. But you need to start eating smaller meals, okay? And a lot of people like fat, particularly those people who may be on the keto diet, but you're eating the wrong fat or the bad fat. You're eating too much fat. Remember, fat takes a long time to digest in our system, and that stays in our stomach, and it can cause a lot of exacerbation, irritation on the stomach. So if you have any last questions, or I'm sorry, if you'd like to participate before we make way in a few more minutes, here is the platform, the address. I'm sending it out right now. You can click on that right there and bring you up on the platform. If you'd like to say any last things to our audience out there, this is going to be on there, recorded again, and people are going to be seeing this. If you'd like to have any remedies you want to share about your reflux, anything you've taken that's helped you, maybe you can share it with other people, please call us up. If you just tuned in, make sure you're taking probiotics, okay? I like magnesium. A lot of people like calcium carbonate. sometimes like Tums. You'll take Tums to help neutralize the acid, but again, that's temporary. That's not going to correct it. Okay, remember, the majority of people who have heartburn have low acidity, have low acid, because the lower esophageal sphincter is loose. And when there's low acid, the pressure becomes lessened. When there's more acid, the pressure becomes more tighter and it holds the sphincter together, keeping the acid from coming upwards into the esophagus. I like ginger tea. I like slippery elm and deglycerinated licorice, DGL. This helps coat the stomach, coat the esophagus. And I recommend everyone out there, I can recommend this. This is just common sense. If you want good digestion, to digest your fats, your carbs, your proteins. And a lot of these, believe it or not, have other enzymes like ox bile, papaya, and different blends. And believe it or not, these super enzymes, this enzymes in itself, you don't have to get this brand, any brand, they usually have betaine HCl. Now, I was talking about betaine HCl. If you just tuned in, here it is right here. This is 648 milligrams, and this is digestive support. Now, think about this for a second, all right? Let's just think about this. We'll be right with you, Prab. We have a person here with us. Let's bring him up. Hello, my friend. We'll be right with you. But think about this. We'll be right with you. This super enzymes that people sell or enzymes that you're buying in the store has this in it. Now think about it. They're putting betaine HCl. It's acidic. Okay, they're putting it back in your stomach because they know this helps digestion. Because when you lack acidity, you don't have good digestion. This will actually help prevent acid reflux. Prab, anything you'd like to share with our audience before we make way, before we close out our hour?
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Mandell. It's nice for you to take me in. My wife has this. She had a H. pylori, and she was on antibiotics, and now she was cured on that. But now she can see that acid sprinkling. She can feel that. Yeah, it's been very frequently, and she's also following good diet, plant diet, and no cream, no ice creams, no chocolates. Good. Very strict on vegetables, but still occasional that sprawling of acid. She can feel that acid sprinkling up in her stomach. Yeah. Got to go back to her diet. We put charts up there. I don't know if you listened from the beginning. I have charts up there at the beginning of this video that shows you good foods and bad foods. I also recommend that Google type in the best eating foods for acid reflux or GERD or heartburn and the worst foods. And I can guarantee you most likely she's still eating some of those worst foods. You got to get off of it, particularly those whites, the flours, the sugars. And I know you may not be putting sugar in your food, but a lot of the packaged foods, a lot of the canned foods, a lot of those foods we buy on the shelves that doesn't grow from the ground are filled with hidden sugars. It may not say sugar, but it may say sucrose, okay? Or it may say there's all different types of words they use in there as sugars, but you need to be certain that she's getting away from those processed foods. Very important, Prab. Okay? Thanks, doctor. All right. Yeah. Bless you. Stay well. Okay, so I really thank our audience out there and you chatters out there for taking the time and just being so patient with me. I hope you learned something from this program. And again, this will be back on the channel on a few different social medias, particularly here on Facebook. Facebook and YouTube. But by the way, if you do have Facebook, go ahead and join my motivational doc on Facebook. I think you'll like it. There's a lot of great chatterers you like to speak with over there because it's a little different. But again, my heart is on YouTube. It's where I spend most of my time. And if you have not subscribed, please do so because I promise I will do all I can to keep you and your family healthy so you can live a happy and healthy and beautiful life. So may I say God bless to everyone out there. Stay proactive, stay safe. And I really appreciate each and every one of you for taking the time to come in the chat room. There's a lot of great chatters out there with a lot of great information. I've been skimming it, trying to do 3 things at one time doing the program, but I'm going to look back at this as well and look at your comments. And
Go ahead and leave your comments on this video when it posts, which will be about 5 or 10 minutes from now, and put whatever comments you can put in there to help other people or other type of alternative remedies that you can teach them and share with them, because I'm just one human being. And again, we've got a lot of very educated, very bright people in this world. And if we can share to help others, we're really doing a blessing for each and every one of us. Anyways, I want to say God bless to you and your loved ones. Stay safe, and we'll be with you real soon again. Bye-bye now.